What's up? What's up? What's up? How y'all doing? Oh man, it's been a minute. So we just gonna chop it up. I ain't really talking about nothing today, but I'm talking about something. I'm really just going off the cuff and I'm just gonna kick it like that. Y'all know me, y'all know I like the outside, y'all know I love the sun. So I usually don't wear shades, but I cut myself just so y'all don't think I'm being Hollywood. You know? So my eyeball was bleeding, so I looked it up. I saw my eyeball bleed, by the way. That junk was crazy. So I looked it up and it said that just wash it out with some water and wear some shades. So that's what I'm doing. So I got a right to be cool right now. Because usually I like the sun gaze anyway. We're not supposed to be wearing shades, you know? Not like that. Not unless we are melanin deficient in the eyeballs where we need shades. But if we got melanin in our eyeballs, in our eyes, we're supposed to be receiving that sun. I used to like shades, but no, it's all about that sun right now. But I'm gonna rock the shades because they say shades supposed to protect me, protect my eye as it heals. I was trying to get something out of my eye, but then I literally tried to use my fingernails and scratch my eyeball. So it's all good, you know what I'm saying? But what I want to talk about, first of all, I want to chop up this bullshit ass presidential race. I was out today and excuse me, the older sister stopped me and she said, "Brother, did you vote? Did you vote today? Did you vote?" I said, "My vote is a no vote." She said, "Why? Why wouldn't you vote?" I said, "Look, both of them are trash. Neither one of them care about black people. They both racist, so what's the difference?" She said, "But you don't want that fool in there. That you don't want Trump in there." I say, "You can't tell me that Trump is worse than Hillary. You can't do it. There's so much dirt on her, it's ridiculous. You know?" So she was like, I don't get it. Why wouldn't you vote? If you don't vote, you don't count." I say, who told you that? And why do we think that if you don't vote, you don't count? What does that mean, actually? Does that mean that I don't exist? I don't have a right to, please explain that to me. Anybody out there, you know, because I don't see that. It don't make no sense. And I gave her the scenario that I heard that it makes a lot of sense to me is if you are being fed, you at the dinner table, and the person feeding you, gave you a choice between poison and poison, which one would you eat? She say it all depends on which poison is worse. And who's to say that it's poison? Who told you that it was poison? I said, I'm just be real with you. I don't like what Hillary did regarding Haiti. As far as the Clinton Foundation is concerned, her brother got a contract. That's a conflict of interest. You know, I don't like the way she did Haiti. I don't like how Libya went down. You know, Muammar Gaddafi was about to do some great stuff for Africa. You know, and that was cold-blooded. And when she sat there and said, we saw, he died, and laughed, I thought that was very callous. You know, I thought that was It was really sick to me. So that showed a level of just disregard of life, because it was very insensitive. So it's been a number of things that they've done that have been very negative towards black people, towards our people. Trump is trash too. He's trash, he's racist. But I think Hillary is racist too. So your choices are this. Which racist would you rather have? Would you rather have a racist that is going to promote a race war? Or would you have a racist that's going to promote a race war and push a world war as well? Because that's really your choices. If Hillary gets in, she wants to put a no-fly zone over Syria. If she put that no-fly zone over Syria, the generals came out and said, look, he was in front of a hearing on Syria. He said, look, if we put a no-fly zone over Syria, we will go to war. We're gonna have to go to war with Russia and Syria. Okay? So that's what would happen with the no-fly zone. So then you got the fact that the Obama administration is pushing for Syrian refugees to come over to this country. And lo and behold, guess what place has the most Syrian refugees? Or slated to get the most refugees? That's right, Stone Mountain, Georgia. The home of the modern day Ku Klux Klan. But really that's our home, because Stone Mountain is actually a giant crystal. And the Olmecs, that was their place. And the Trail of Tears was from Stone Mountain, Georgia, and it traveled down Campbellton Road, and then it veered off. And we went in different directions, but a lot of us settled in Oklahoma. Thus you had the Oklahoma riots later on, the Black Wall Street, and all that good stuff. So that's another subject. But I say all that to say, yeah, they're gonna push for war with Syria. Trump says we don't want to go to war with Vladimir Putin. It would be smart to not go to war with Vladimir Putin and Russia and all the wars. That's what he said. So he will be against war with Russia and Syria, both of whom the U.S. and Russia, of course, y'all know, got the nuclear weapons. So that might not be the mode. It might be electromagnetic pulse. They say they worry about Russia doing an electromagnetic pulse, which would be a slow kill, because with that, everything gonna shut down. All power. Number one, internet, forget about it. Electricity, forget about it. All the power grids, forget about it. So they are expecting, if that happens, they've already said that the deaths will be massive, but they will come in waves. And the first wave would be people that are dependent on medicine and hospital treatment. So the people that are in the hospital that are hooked up to machines, they will be the first to go. So our elderly and our very, very vulnerable young, like the premature babies, is the first wave. They said the second wave would be people who need medicine for their survival, but they're not in hospitals. They said they will go. then they said, then it'll get to a level of, people protecting themselves on the street or whatnot, just in case a war situation really jump off as far as the panic is concerned. So that's what they're saying what happened with a electromagnetic pulse. And Obama has done an executive order to deal with in case of electromagnetic pulse. And he's also did an executive order dealing with how to prepare or how to deal with warfare from outside the planet Earth. So he's talking about some straight up Star Wars stuff in one of his most recent executive orders. So it's a lot of stuff going on right now, and we being distracted in a lot of ways. See, they use us. Both parties use us. If you look at the first debate between Hillary and Trump, when they talked about race, they basically talked about the need for more police, and they was pandering to police. They didn't even care about our vote. They cared about their white audience and trying to pander for their vote. They didn't even care about us. So that lets you know that neither one of them is no good when it comes to us. But in that debate, they mentioned with Trump, he talking about bringing back stop and frisk. So that lets you know right there off the rip, ain't nobody going for that. There's gonna be more shootings, more police shootings, and they're gonna be going the other way. Both sides gonna get shot straight up because you're gonna have more drama. But if Trump don't get in, you're gonna have folks mad that he not getting in, and you're gonna have action being taken against us because they mad that he didn't get in there. I'm just wrap it up on the presidential side of the game. But either way, you're voting for what we looking at with Trump and Hillary. We're looking at white supremacists having an infight. They're really slick on the same team. Trump is for the bankers too. He's for the banksters. Hillary is definitely for the banksters. Hillary's more for the banksters, in my opinion, because she's talking about going to war with Syria. So that's just my view of it.